So let's talk about the idea of value and how much value you have to the people around you, and more importantly, to the women that you're meeting. Now, I want to explain the difference between high value guys and low value guys. How do you know if you're a low value guy? Well, if you're meeting women and you're finding it really hard to get them out on a date or to progress anything with them, it's usually because they don't value their time with you. They don't place enough value on you. Write that down. When we value something, we make time for it. We have a sense of urgency. If she really doesn't have a sense of urgency to meet up with you, it's because she doesn't place a high enough value on you. Or if you're dating girls and you find that after a couple of dates or as they get to know you, they start losing interest. What happens in this case is sometimes a woman's attracted to you. And when she first meets you, she thinks you're a high value guy. But the more she gets to know you, the more she feels like she was sort of fooled and that you don't have as much value as she thought. Or maybe you're just a guy in your social circle who none of the girls take seriously. You're never the guy they choose. You're never the guy they chase. You're the guy that usually winds up in the friend zone. That's because people around you, the women in particular, aren't placing a high level of value on you. Why do women find it so hard to stay attracted to a nice guy, right? It's common knowledge. Everybody knows that nice guys finish last, especially in dating. But did you ever wonder why? Well, let's go back to this idea of value. Here's the secret. People are looking at you. Women are looking at you, and you're telling them exactly how much value they should place on you. See, nice guys, they place a very cheap price tag on themselves. You can try to hide it with a fancy watch or a nice car or a good job, but soon enough, the woman feels that gut level sense that she's been duped. Sometimes it's even worse if you're a good looking guy, right? Or if you work out or you're in shape or you have a little bit of money. When a woman first meets you, she thinks she's getting a Louis Vuitton bag. But as she gets to know you, it's like she's peeling away the price tag and she sees that she really has a bag from Walmart. And that's when women get resentful. That's when they get cold. That's when you don't realize what happened. But all of a sudden, she's not answering your calls. She kind of disappears, right? She just totally lost interest in you. By the way, my name is Bobby Rio, and there's another word that I want you to write down. The word is supplicate. Supplicate means to beg or to ask earnestly or humbly. At its core, supplication is trading status and value for validation from the other person. You're willing to give away your status, your power to the other person at expense of your own to be validated by them. Nice guys trade away their value, they trade away their status to be liked by women. On a very subtle level, when you meet someone, especially a woman you're attracted to, you're saying to them, I think you're better than me. And they pick up on this. I can tell you one thing about women. No woman wants to be with a guy who thinks she's better than he is. Trust me, no girl wants to be with a guy below her. Now, I was at a party the other day, and a few of us were sitting at a table. Some girl comes up over to us, and she looks at one of the guys, and she hands him her cup. She says, can you get me another glass of sangria? And now this guy, it wasn't her boyfriend. It wasn't a guy she was sleeping with. This was just some guy. Maybe I think he was like an acquaintance of hers at most. And he looks at her, and he's like, why? What? He's kind of confused. And she goes, please, pretty please. And the guy takes the cup, and he leaves. And sure enough, he comes back 3 minutes later, and he hands her the glass of sangria. Now, he made a little joke before he did it. In his mind, maybe he thought he was flirting with her, he was teasing her, but he wasn't. He was supplicating himself to her. They were the same distance from the sangria cup, right? There was no reason that he should have been the one to get that for her. She has two legs, right? She was consciously or unconsciously testing him, and he failed the test because he wanted to be liked by her. He was afraid if he said no, she wouldn't like him. How do you know if you failed the test? Well, so if one of this guy's friends, right, if he was standing there and I was this guy's friend, and I handed him the cup, and I said, hey man, go get me a sangria. He would have looked at me, and he would have been like, you're just as far from it as I am. Go get it yourself, dude. But he wouldn't say that to the girl because he thought that if he said something like that, that she wouldn't like him. Or he thought, even worse, that he was gaining points by going and doing it. But here's the thing. The more genuine response would have been, go get it yourself. It's right over there, right? And then laughed at her in a playful way. She would have liked him more for that response because it would have been genuine. It would have shown her, right? It would have shown her that he puts a little value on himself. It would have told her that he valued himself to be too much to be her little errand boy. And I can tell you right now, women do not want an errand boy, and you don't want to be with a woman who does. If you're treating her like she's better than you, what is she going to do? She's going to treat you like you're below her. And once she starts doing that, it's impossible for a girl to find you attractive. If she's treating you like you're below her, she'll never stay with you. The number one problem nice guys have, and the number one problem you might have, is that you place more value on being liked by the other person than you do about being respected, admired, or desired by them. Now here's the thing, and write this down. Within a social scene, the person who tries the hardest to be liked winds up with the least amount of power. Now write that down. The person who tries hardest to be liked has the least amount of power. The person who tries harder holds less power. Now, if some of this seems outside your comfort zone, or you think it's not your personality, I've got another video on this topic that I put together for you, because I really think that this is extremely important, the most important thing when it comes to your social life. And I want to drill this into your head. You're going to find that it's a lot easier than you think to transform from a low-value guy to a high-value, high-status guy. Because status has nothing to do with how much money you make. It has nothing to do with how good-looking you are. It has nothing to do with what kind of clubs you get into or how many Facebook friends you have. What status has 100% to do with is how much value other people place on you and how much value, and this is most important, you place on yourself. So I recorded another little video. It's actually on my website, and you can click the link in the description or below, and it'll take you to my website where I share the core differences, the core attitudes and behaviors, the core traits that make up a socially powerful, high-value man within a social scene. These are changes that you can implement today, no matter where you are. Now, this isn't a video promising you magic pickup lines or anything like that. I'm not promising you that tomorrow you're going to wake up and be as cool as George Clooney. But what I am telling you and promising you is that it can happen faster and easier than you think if you know the steps, if you understand what makes a man high value versus what makes a man low value, and you eliminate those low value behaviors. Now, I recorded a video. It's about 8 minutes long. There's no fancy graphics, no professional editing, but it's real. I'm going to give you the number one most important thing you can do today to increase the amount of social value other people, especially the women you meet, place on you. So click the link. Go there. It's completely free to watch this video. It's just around 8 minutes long. Also, make sure you have a pen handy because you're going to want to take notes. I'm going to talk fast. You can see I talk fast because I cram a lot into the 8 minutes. My goal in the next video is to walk you through the process of moving from a low-value guy to a high-value man. Because if you're not dating the quality girls you want within your scene, if you're losing interest of girls as they get to know you, it's because, as I said, chances are, as they get to know you, your value in their eyes is diminishing. So let's pinpoint, right? To start off with exactly maybe where you're slipping up. A lot of guys are blind to this. It's like a blind spot. We don't see it. We don't know it. We don't realize where we're messing up. So click the link. Go there. It's completely free to watch the video. It's just around 8 minutes long. And you're going to really want to take notes and you're going to implement this stuff immediately, all right? I'll see you over there.